Yan. Hello everyone. Kamusta kay John? I hope you're keeping, well, cold pa rin. Siguro mainit pa rin dyan sa Manila. But medyo dito, medyo lamig-lamig rin. Kanina naglakad-lakad tayo. Kakatapos natin ng isang mahabang araw. Ang dami nating mga ginawa, mga simulations about yung mga potential conflict scenarios dito sa Asia. Kasama yung mga ibang eksperto galing sa iba't ibang kontinente, iba't ibang larangan. So, sorry, medyo ngayon lang tayo makahabol. Actually, I was hoping na kasabay natin ngayon si yung paborito niyang co-host na si Ronald Llamas pero medyo busy si Bossing. So, we'll hope to have a follow-up discussion, God willing, inshallah, early next week. In the meantime, dalawang bagay ang gusto kong pag-usapan. Of course, yung isa, of course, nakakalungkot and it's something of course close to our hearts. And then at the same time, of course, pag-usapan din natin itong itong planned rallies bukas. Some would say counter rallies, competing rallies bukas sa isang banda, bagong Pilipinas, I don't know, Maharlika, Fun, whatever. Rally bukas in support of yung minamahal natin na presidente, yung napakagaling natin presidente sa isang banda dyan sa Maynila. At the same time, meron din tayong counter rally. Okay, prayer. Um, prayer, ano ba yan? Prayer rally ba yan? I'm sorry, prayer, um, candlelight prayer uh, dyan sa Davao City. Kasama yung mga DDS dyan yan. Kasama dyan ni ano, yung mga Carlisle, yung mga ganyan, mga troll na yan. Oh, Carlisle, sali kayo bukas ha. Oh, bago kayo mag-troll sa akin. Yan. Kasi mga kachipangan nyo ng mga vloggers kung anong sinasabi sa inyo. Now, before we talk about itong mga counter rallies and itong interesting situation kasi may mga big statements na narinig natin, including from Senator Amy Marcos. So Senator Amy Marcos also has made some big statements. Some of them nakikita natin nagsa-circulate online. Of course, I'm yet to see kung verified ito sa mga news items, but I saw some of the more reputable online na mga news sites. Itong Impact Leadership ay nag-share ito. Ayan, pakita natin yan mga kameta para makita niyan. Ayan. Ayan na naman yung mga hindi ko naman kasalanan kung mga ay nako. Ayan. Diyos ko na naman. Ito naman yung mga troll natin. Okay, ito. Salamat sa mga trolls natin. By the way, nagigising ako. Nakita niyo naman na pagod tayo. Medyo long day. Alam mo naman, hindi naman tayo katulad ng mga ibang vloggers na yung mga ibang bayaran, yung mga ibang active dyan sa mga we have to work for what we earn. We work hard for that. So ito, habol pa rin natin itong ginagawa natin. Now, first before we go dito sa counter rallies na ito at analyze natin itong mga statements or alleged statements from Senator Amy Marcos. I mean, I'm seeing already some people talking about Amy Marcos as the leader of opposition. Ito yung mga statements na nakikita natin dito. Pag-usapan muna natin itong situation sa CNN Philippines. So, nakakalungkot yan kasi actually, yung isang araw, nakita ko na may pinost yung mga ibang kaibigan natin na host sa CNN Philippines na salamat sa CNN Philippines for the past 8 years. So siguro sabi ko, anniversary ito or at worst, itong tao na to ay baka lilipat na sa ibang channels. And then kanina, nakita ko online at siya mga nag-forward sa akin na mukhang something bigger is happening as far as CNN Philippines is concerned. And then nakita ko, and this is where really I mukhang na-confirm na talaga, yung mga marami natin host na kaibigan, including mga host na napakagaling, di ba? Of course, yung isang host yan, si Rico Izan, kakapanalo lang, di ba? Kakapanalo ng best, current affairs pa yun sa kanya. Sorry, news anchor in Asia. At siya yung nag-back-to-back award. Of course, I mean, sa atin naman, we were just happy to be among the nominees for the best current affairs sa Asian Television Awards. But Rico is on one, back-to-back one. So we have so many good, as daming magaling dyan. Yung si Pia Hontiveros also. Daming sobrang galing dyan sa CNN Philippines, really world class ng mga tao. So, kanina nakita ko yung mga pictures na silang lahat, tapos yung iba medyo black and white na and all. Oh, so, first na wala yung ABS-CBN. Ngayon naman itong CNN Philippines. So may confirmation na kasi kanina may mga conflicting messages po tayo online because may mga contrary news na nagsasabi na baka ma-delay ito in light of certain consideration. But the latest confirmation I see from another former home of mine, GMA Network Kapuso, confirms it. So I saw one report sa I saw one report sa, sorry, pagod na, alam niyo yan, ganun talaga yung mga hardworking yung mga hardworking, hindi ko na alam dun sa mga tamad na bayaran na vloggers, pero alam mo naman, yung mga legit katulad natin, they work full day and then kailangan humabol din sa vlogs kasi mahal na mahal ko kayo. Ito, so eto na, nakita natin sa GMA, etong report na mukhang eto na we may have already seen last Friday, at most by Monday, last programs and airing of CNN Philippines, unless someone else takes over. I see some people are suggesting that maybe some other media moguls can take it over. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure behind the scenes there were already efforts at finding probably someone else to take it over. I mean, this is big. I mean, CNN Philippines is really really good. I mean, I worked sa ANC before, sa ABS-CBN bago pumunta sa GMA Network. I was an analyst there for 4 years or so, and then now of course dun tayo naman sa kabila. Let me first talk about the CNN Philippines situation, and then I'll talk about the bigger picture because clearly meron itong aspeto ng Duterte legacy. Alright, Duterte legacy. Uh, but obviously, it will be unfair to just blame Duterte for this. But I think Duterte was really the last, straw that broke the back of the camel. So ito, official na ito, CNN Philippine is going off the airs after 9 years, no? No, na nag-debut siya on free TV. So free ito, hindi siya cable news, kaya very accessible yan. CNN Philippines is set to shut down soon amid its financial woes, including yung hefty price tag dun sa licensing. Kasi nga, CNN Philippines. So, kinakarry niya yung tag ng CNN brand. GMA News Online, Ariel reported that Nine Media Corporation, yung entity na nag-ooperate ng CNN Philippines, ay nagdi-delay ng kanyang termination of licensing deal with CNN International. So some people are thinking that probably because of these adjustments in this um ayan, okay. Alright, yan, tanggal yung troll. Ang dali lang pala magtanggal ng troll. Okay. Okay lang. Sige lang, mag-troll lang kayo. Matanggal lang kayo kaagad. Yan ang gusto ko dyan. Okay. GMA News Online reported 9 Media Corporation. Okay. So, ito, siguro sabi ng iba, siguro magkakaroon ng adjustments na lang, doon na lang sa licensing. So, yung media chairman ng Nine Media, si Edgar Cabangon, sinabi niya earlier, we delayed the closure termination of the franchise deal with CNN International because of our law for our employees. So, this made some think na pag siguro na-delay nila yung franchising, that may give them some time and some financial space to keep the operations going and figure out the next step. Several sources, however, said that what was deferred was the implementation of the planned shutdown of the Philippines, and this was from last year pa daw. So sought to clarify kung yung CNN Philippines will shut down. After all, isang executive of the media company actually told sa isang chance encounter with GMA Network na ayan na, long overdue na daw itong shutdown nito. At si Cabango naman responded GMA News Online query if the closure of CNN was already being planned last year pa due to itong huge losses over 2021 and 2022 fiscal years. I think close to half a billion. So reports have been circulating that CNN Philippines will be airing its last on Monday, January 26, while some others said that actually operations will be until March this year, so more than a month. And insiders said that staff were made aware that the network's last full show was actually last Friday, which is January 26. So yeah, you're looking at three different dates: Monday, January 26, or all the way March. So ang dami mga competing news or actually conflicting information coming out there. So, following reports of the company folding up, an internal memorandum was issued to all personnel of the network to attend a general assembly some Monday. So that's 2 days from now. But there was no agenda indicated in the memorandum. Please wait for the official statement of our president, Mr. Benji Ramos, this coming Monday. Thank you. Yun yung sinabi ni Kabangon. I think dito yan sa memo na yan. But of course, as early as now, there are indications na baka ito ay, uh, I don't know, swan song if I... So kasi ito yung situation. Yung GMA News Online, nag-review siya ng financial statements nila from 2022 to 2021. At it looks like based on the independent auditing reports, nung 2022, ang losses ay 239 million pesos. And in 2021, the losses were 231 million pesos. Yung capital efficiency as a result was amounting to 465 million pesos and 226 million pesos in 2022 and 2021 respectively. So it went from 220 in 2021 to 470 almost in 2022. These conditions indicate a material uncertainty which may cast a significant doubt about the company's ability to continue as a going concern. According dun sa independent audit, and the management is aware of this condition and has accordingly issued its plans and actions concerning this matter. Further, the management believes that the company can continue as a going concern given its ability to obtain funding and commitment of support from its major stakeholder. Now, the thing though is, actually umakyat yung revenue nila to 470 million pesos last in 2022 from 389 million, so just over 11 million. But yun nga the sales did not keep up with rising costs. Tumataas din yung cost ng production. At umakyat ito sa 540 million point eight in 2021. Sorry, in 2022, up from 482. So, medyo umakyat yung revenues, pero umakyat din kasi yung rising costs. So I think this is what people do not appreciate, how difficult it is to run media companies, how expensive it is, diba? Yung vlogging parang na konting editing and production no, lalaking gastos mo over a month, 'di ba? Yung mga small time lang katulad natin, 'di ba? Now imagine, 'di ba? How this is it kasi don't worry, I'll talk about the bigger picture soon, but you just have to get some of these basic numbers right, no? Now, the other thing of course being raised here is yung licensing nila kasi CNN Philippines. Ano ba dati yung CNN Philippines? Yung bago silang CNN Philippines. Ano ulit yung pangalan nila noon? Oh, mas alam niyo sa akin yung mga ganun. Sorry. Um, but I remember them. I just forgot the top of my head lang siya. The thing kasi is yung licensing fee nila mahal din eh. Yung sa Turner Broadcasting System, Asia Pacific. Ito yung CNN International, no? 139 million pesos in 2022 and 108 million. So tumataas yung hindi yung RPN eh. 'Di ba after RPN meron Solar Philippines? Yeah, I think Solar Philippines, wasn't it? Yeah, RPN yung franchise ng nagka-carry. Pero after hindi siya RPN nung sila nandun eh. Something else siya, 'di ba? Parang Solar Philippines ba? Yes, parang Solar Philippines. Yeah, yun yung mga alala ko. Yung RPN nun pa yan, oh. Hindi naman tayo gano'n. Medyo bata pa ako noon nung RPN time pa. So, tumaas yung operating cost. Tumaas din itong licensing cost. So, doubling pressure yan. Tsaka pandemic yan, guys. 2021, 2022. And then yung 2023, syempre nagka-inflation and all of that. So, that also cut into advertising. Yung mga, of course, mga advertisers and all. Alam din nila pag yung mga consumer spending is gonna go down. Especially sa 2023. So, they're also cutting back. Now, dun sa base sa deal nila, actually, yung RPN uh, also charges them 8.2 million pesos monthly dahil ginagamit yung kanilang franchise dun sa airtime, right? Uh, Now, RPN kind of tried to cut them some slack, giving them 20% discount from 2021 to 2022. But yun nga eh. General and administrative expenses also increased that to 147.6 million. So I'm just giving you these numbers, guys, para you realize, ma-appreciate nyo, na even a relatively modestly sized media network in the Philippines is really, really hard and expensive to run. Right? Yeah, Solar News. Really, really expensive to run. And nakakalungkot kasi quality ito eh. World class talaga mga, I mean, I have guested many times on CNN Philippines throughout the years and most recently lang, 'di ba, nung just before New Year ba yan? And they really have world class guys. They're literally world class people, and their style of reportage, the editorial, ganda nung yung studio, yung lighting. So I hope people understand these things don't come out of nowhere, right? It's really difficult to run a legit, high level kind of journalism, including in the country, and especially during this time. Philippines is very expensive. You know what's interesting actually? Um, Kanina kausap ko yung isang Hapon nating kaibigan. Ito yung mga tao na nasa mga, ano, may mga financial institutions. Sabi na actually, Hapon na ito taga Tokyo to Pati siya na mahalan sa Manila. Sabi niya parang ang taas ng cost of living sa Manila. So yung mga, pati yung mga foreigner na galing sa mayayaman na bansa, napapansin nila kasi kino-compare nila yung Pilipinas sa mga ibang bansa na punta niya. Pati sila na mga mahalan. I mean, imagine they coming from Tokyo na it's a very expensive city in itself, no? So, I just how people understand these things now. So now the concern is what's gonna happen next, no? Ako naman, obviously, one part of this is what we're doing right now, diba? The rise of online social media news. And the problem is that, with the online social media news, well, I have no problem that anyone can start their channels and vlogging like that. But ang problema ko kasi is, alam naman natin pag social media, dahil it's open to anyone, ang labanan dyan is sino mas provocative or you know what I'm saying? Let's be honest, di ba? Ang tendency sa social media is, pupuntang tao sa'yo kung medyo provocative ka, di ba? Not necessarily because quality ka. Kasi quality journalism, high quality journalism, actually high quality of anything, could be quote-unquote boring for many people in our era of spectacle and simulacra and carnivalesque, o lahat ng mga postmodern term na matuto niyo, 'di ba? Applicable sa atin 'yan eh. We live in this era na palakihan ng microphone, 'di ba? Megaphone, sorry. It's really really hard. Kaya nga ako, ang taas ng respect ko sa mga journalists or ex-journalists. I mean, kaibigan natin sila Christian Esquera, mga others, who have made this seamless transition. Kasi ang hirap eh. Ang hirap eh. Like, ako, nagpapatawa ako, we did humor and all of that. But you know me, guys. I mean, I'm a serious person. And ngayon, I'm just being honest with, like, it's really hard. And alam mo, you're up against, vloggers and social media producers, content creators, whatever you want to call them, influencers, na marami sa kanila walang paki sa editorial, accuracy, looking at the facts. Marami walang paki sa copyrights, marami walang paki sa mga basic practices, due diligence, everything that you're taught, no? Sa journalism, sa school of journalism, sa legit journalism, sa international journalism. Kaya nga, isang araw nga, tumitingin lang ako doon ng ibang mga news items sa Philippines. Parang, what's this? I mean, anong after watching that, in what way, maging mas malalim ang pag-intindi mo sa mga suliranin sa ating bayan. Hindi eh. Matatawa ka lang, tatawanan mo yung mga politiko, matatawa ka sa politiko. I mean, ako naman gawa ko rin. So, di ba, yung mga pinost ko ang isang araw, yung mga kaiba to, yung mga ganyan. Oh, yung isang pinost ko na video ko, 1 million views na siya ngayon sa Twitter and all. And it was just like few seconds I got of some other person and gano'n. Okay, mag-guess nyo which video niya. 810,000 views ito 90,000, yung sa kabila sa Instagram, 200 plus. Nakikita ko yun sa sarili kong karanasan. Pag nagpo-post ako ng mga ganyan, ang daming views ka agad. Gustong-gusto ng tao. Pag mag-post ka ng, medyo malalim, medyo, good luck na lang maka 10, 20,000 ka, 'di ba? Now, luckily nung nagsimula tayo dito sa vlogging natin, election time noon. So we were able to get, I don't know, 1 million views for some of the things. Naalala niyo yung time na medyo napaluwa tayo ng konti, pinag-usapan natin yung case ni Senator De Lima. Like those time, during election time, really a lot of people were watching, and that's why I was very encouraged. But alam natin, ang katotohanan talaga, unfortunately, pagdating sa online, a lot of this, galit pa yung kapitbahay ko din. So, pag biglang may narinig ka, baka maingay tayo. No, no. A lot of this, how should I put it? Yun nga, like, you're constantly encouraged just to produce provocative stuff or trash, right? I'm just being brutally honest about it. Kaya, para sa amin, yung mga may karanasan or actually have one foot in mainstream media or in the academy and all, it's a very painful experience kasi sa isang banda gusto mong gawin yung malalim and ganyan. At the same time, alam mo, mas gusto ng tao yung ganito. So you're being pulled in different directions. And then mayroon pa yung mga cases na yung mga ibang inggit sa'yo, gagamitin nila yung mga online na antics mo to say na hindi ka credible academic or ganun. Parang, hello, have you tried doing social media every day? Every day, 1 hour, every day. You know how difficult that is, right? But anyway, those are all the risks. You're gonna be hated by both sides sometimes, right? You're gonna be boring to people on social media, and then you're gonna be clownish to people in the academia or journalism. But yun nga, the reason na ginagawa natin yan is because na-recognize ko na especially with Gen Z and the younger generation, there is increasingly a transition talaga sa online. But, yan ang tinatawag na structural trends or secular trends. Alright? So, you can write it down. Yan ang tinatawag na secular trends. So, ito yung mga long-term trends na may pagka-inevitable sila. Ceteris paribus, bar, it's not something crazy. But, as much as there is that yung secular trend na yan, dun sa decline ng traditional media, which is very sad. Not because I work there, it's because anong nag-replace sa kanya? Eto mga kulto-kulto, mga kachipangan na vloggers, mga pabuljak-puljak na lang. Alam mo yung mga ganyan-ganyan na lang, di ba? Actually, that's not the worst. I've seen even worse on may mga iba dyan na hindi sila actually vlogger. It's just like news, whatever-ish. I'm not gonna say which. And then, nung tinignan ko yung content, like, my goodness, ano to? Like, ano to? And then you see, I mean, so, gets gonna there's a trend line towards that. There's an aspect of technology gets gonna yan. But mga kameta, there's also the triggering factor. A trigger factor. So ito yung tinatawag na proximate cause. So when a major event happens like revolution or and then election ni Digong, diba? The long-term structural trend is, weakening of the political system, yung pagkawala ng tiwala ng tao sa mga politiko, pagkatiwala ng mga tao sa demokrasya, or yung mga ganyan. Yet, that's what you call secular trends. But there's always going to be a proximate cause, something that triggers it, right? So it's like, secular trends are like, yung powder keg, di ba? Yung parang, yung phosphor dyan sa phosphoro mo. But the proximate cause is the trigger, right? That gets this thing going. So speaking of that, sa aking palagay, yung pag-shutdown ng ABS-CBN, ang laki ng epekto nito talaga. I think it's severely accelerated itong decline ng traditional media. Because yung pagsara ng ABS-CBN was not just closing down ABS-CBN. It was year after year after year of a demagogue, right, who has zero respect for objective, truthful journalism, going out there and attacking journalism as a profession. Now, let me be absolutely clear. Unfortunately, may mga very problematic people dyan that may mga bayaran talaga dyan. Alright? May mga problematic talaga tao dyan. May mga walang kwenta talaga tao dyan na nagpapanggap na journalist sila. And these people have to be called out. Right? May mga people na PR lang sila. Kunyari pa journalism ba sila. May mga iba dyan na kunyari news site pero ano lang yan, puff news lang yan sa mga mayayaman. No? Yung sino yung mga mayayaman gawan natin ng news. May mga ganun, okay? For me, that's not even trash journalism because it's not even journalism. It's just trash. There is that in every country. I mean, I'm not just talking about the Philippines. I'm sure dito sa, meron unfortunately yung mga ganyan. But journalism in its purest sense, or an approximation of the great tradition of journalism, right? Pag inattack mo yan, ibig sabihin ayaw mo talaga sa katotohanan. Ayaw mo talaga dun sa mga journalists na lumalaban para sa katotohanan. Ayaw mo talaga ng critical na diskurso. Ayaw mo talaga ng totoong debate. Alright? So, the shutdown of ABS-CBN came on the back of years of systematic attack. Not only by the president, but all of these mga kachipangan na bloggers, mga fake news peddlers, and this total systematic, character assassination ng mga leading journalists ng ating bansa. At least may isa dyan na dahil dyan nanalo ng mga malalaking award. Pero marami pa dyan ibang journalists, unsung heroes, who got the worst of everything and didn't get any of the award and recognition, whatever that some other journalists got. I mean, probably some journalists got everything, right? But and that was really really sad. No, so and then when the shutdown of ABS-CBN itself was being literally orchestrated in front of our eyes, look at paano nila binastos yung buong channel, yung leadership. Again, I'm not here to lawyer for ABS-CBN. We can have a long discussion about some of the technicalities dun sa kanilang mga ways for them, to run their business. We can talk about that. But let's be honest, there are a lot of the legwork dun sa dinurog talaga eh. Dinurog yung hindi lang ABS-CBN, dinurog talaga yung profession eh. So, we also know for a fact, and sorry, ako lang ang tubig. Ay, wag na yan, baka may pumasok. Japanese style tayo, okay. Sa kakasalita buong araw. Wait lang. Paranoid ako pag nakabukas, di ko na inumin. Hindi, yun ang sasabihin. Talagang, now, alam natin yung ABS-CBN also, malaki yung kanilang following na loyal sa ABS-CBN. So, yung mga iba na umaasa na pag mawala ang ABS-CBN, yung market share pupunta sa kanila. Hindi nangyari yun. So, actually, what happened is that at makita niyo dun sa interview natin with OG Diaz among others, no? I think he knows what he's talking about. And I saw some of the data, no? Marami dun na nanonood kay ABS-CBN, hindi lumipat dun sa ibang channels. Nag-online na lang sila. Nag-totally online na lang sila. So what happened is that meron kang libo-libong milyon na Pilipino, including yung lola ko, yung mga na lifetime na mahal naman nilang ABS-CBN na kapamilya, nung nawala na yan, parang hindi nila makuha yung sarili na para manood ng ibang channel. Or yung automatic alternative na. Ako naman kasi wala akong manok kasi I've worked with ABS, I've worked with GMA, I've worked with TV. So ako, love ko silang lahat. I'm just saying, I'm talking about the reality there, di ba? At just punta kayo sa online, mga alt na yung mga nagtitroll. So what happened there is you have tens of millions of people na loyal kapamilya, sumali at nag-amplify ng itong online infotainment trend line. So meron kang slow, gradual trend line, meron ka pang pandemic that accelerated this because of the digitalization. And then meron kang sudden daksa ng mga ABS-CBN kapamilya followers dito. So that created a whole, you know what I'm saying, mega wave that completely changed the economics of the media industry. And at the same time, for me, there's also kind of a psychological effect there because, I remember very well before Digong, pag sinabing journalist, ang taas ng respeto ng tao sa'yo, di ba? At as I said, there are always problematic people there. So I'm not, and there are many people na nagpapanggap na journalist. May maraming tao na, okay, wag na tayo mag-blind item. Basta, so hindi ko sinasabi na perfect to that. But, marami rin tayong mga super legit na magagaling na journalist na world class. Now, back in the day, pag journalist ka, taas ng respeto sa'yo. You're seen as a kind of a purveyor of truth or a voice of the people, di ba? Not necessarily the toolful way voice of the people, but just the person that stands for truth. I mean, Mike Enriquez, God bless his soul, right? Mike Enriquez, God bless his soul. I mean, I had a number of interviews with him dun sa radio show niya. Of course, minsan din kasama tayo sa 24 hours. So, like, that guy really loved the Filipino people. That guy really loved his profession. And the way he would talk about yung malalim ng ugat ng problema sa ating bansa. Like, so parang that era is gone. It's a gone era. Like in the, so, so nakakalungkot talaga. For me, nakakalungkot ito because it's telling us that we're moving in a very troubling direction. And remember, I'm telling this as someone who's doing pretty decently online. Alright? So actually, super thankful ako dahil dito sa social media, nagagawa ko itong nagagawa ko ngayon. Hindi ako umaasa sa iba, hindi ako umaasa na imbitahin ako sa show, hindi ako umaasa sa mga producers, hindi ako umaasa na ito sarili ko yan. Ako nag-decide ng oras, ako nag-decide ng pag-usapan ko, ako nag-decide ng gaano katagal. So, I truly appreciate and love what I'm doing. And ang kagandahan dito, ang daming mga platforms at iba't ibang platform binibigyan ka ng iba't ibang oportunidad, iba't ibang klase ng pagko-communicate. And I'll be brutally honest, guys, no. Dahil dito sa social media, actually, I believe I improved as a person, as a communicator, right? Hindi naman tayo nag-iabang. I mean, there's a certain type of audience and communications that I worked a lot on. And alam niyo naman, kami nila Leloy and all mga debaters kami from college days. So, we were, but iba kasing, social media eh. Iba eh. You cannot, so actually I saw some comments like, "Oh Richard, bakit you don't go straight to the point?" And like, if you want that, just go and Google Richard Darren. I don't know, BBC, CNN, think of any big channel in the world, put my name, something will come up, and you'll get a 2-3 minute version of me, boo, like that. But different to eh. Etong social media, may pagka, parang may pagka-tambay kanto, may pagka kwentong barbero style talaga siya. Like, the idea for me, when you do a live, ibang usapan kasi yung medyo prepared eh. Okay? Although ako naman parang shoot lang yan, tapos go na ako. Di ba? As much as possible kasi gusto ko spontaneous eh. Kasi alam niyo bakit? Kung masyado siyang edited and all, then anyone can do that. Honestly, anyone can just watch any expert and then pretend there's. But if you're really an expert, you just do it and just go like that, right? Now, pwede may konting edit, lagyan mo ng konting, I don't know, konting figures, facts, graphics there para mas interesting. But social media, these kinds of live, this spontaneity, right? Uh, feeling ko, makes you much more relatable to a lot of people and makes it easier also for you to relate to the people. I mean, ang daming beses na not naman too many, hindi naman ako feeling sikat. But you would go around and then, like people just come to you and just jokingly they come to you, "Oy, kameta," gano'n. Like, they're very comfortable with you. Because sa tingin ko, nung nanonood sila ng live natin, yung sense nila is parang kausap lang nila sa Ida. I mean, literally, pag nandito sa mga ibang angulo, di ba, nakikita niyo yung mga imperfections natin, yung mga eye bags natin, yung mga ganun. So, you think you're literally just sitting down and talking to me there, right? So, there's that kind of spontaneity, there's that kind of relatability, and in a sense, because immediately, just as I speak, ayan na yung mga trolls, ayan na yung actually, konti na nga lang yung trolls kayo, kailangan natin kayo, di ba? I mean, it gives you this, parang nasa stock market ka immediately responding to trend lines and stock. I appreciate it. And you learn to be fast talker and all. But obviously sa akin, yung isa sa mga most heartening aspect na itong social media na ginagawa natin mga kameta is yung mga collaborations natin. Believe me guys, anyone that you think I should have collaborated, I already sent the feeler or I already sent an invitation or anything like that. Now, kung ayaw nila makipag-collaborate sa akin, I don't know, threaten sila sa akin, or I don't know, competitive sila sa akin, or I don't know, whatever, di ko na problema yan. But as far as I'm concerned, I extended, invitation to work with many people. And thankfully, thank God, maraming sumagot, maraming very responsive. So, from Dr. Lisandro Claudio, from Secretary Ronald Llamas, and so of course, longtime friend natin si Mark, si Kristan, among others, di ba? Maraming, kaya nga yung mga RRL, RR, inisip ko nga triple R eh. RRR, si Ruben at saka si Ronald. Kasama natin yung mga dalawang Lodi na yan. Di, ang ganda naman yan. The RRW, RRL, RRM. Di ba? So, for me, boom. I mean, I really appreciate that. I mean, siguro yung mga iba dyan, skeptical sa atin or hater or whatever. It's like, nagpapakit lang mga to. Pero honestly, hindi. Actually, after those conversations, I feel super good. Like, oh God, parang therapy siya, sabi nga ni Leloy nun. Parang therapy siya kasi, guys, aminin natin, hindi masaya yung mga topics natin most of the time. Like, nagpapatawa ako or something like that because gusto ko na medyo masikmura natin yung mga topics eh. Pero sa to lang, malungkot talaga yung mga topics natin kasi most of the time, mga pinag-usapan natin yung mga gulo, yung mga kurakot, mga crooked people, or yung mga, well, alam niyo na, di ba? Yung mga kababalagan, yung mga ganun. So, in a way, when you talk these things through, it makes them It makes, ayun naman yung mga trolls na, you know, it makes it a little bit more emotionally digestible, if I can put it that way. All right, okay, speaking of, mag-transition na tayo. Let's talk about, ito para dadami yung, oh, water lang to guys, ah. Tubig yan. Oh, sustainable reuse bottle. Ashigara Sega. Oh, di ba? Oh, natural mineral. Galing siguro to sa Fuji, Mount Fuji. Okay, okay. Ito nga to. Okay, 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 okay. Now, speaking of, yung masayahin natin na politika. Speaking of our exciting politics, let's talk about, ayan, biglang nag-English ako kasi may mga followers tayo from Hola. Okay, okay. Pag-usapan natin na. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about tomorrow. So, as you know, there are gonna be two rallies organized. Um, bukas yata to, di ba? So, dalawa yan. Ah, di ba? Don't worry, hindi lang ako andito na manglait or anything like that. I'm really here just to analyze and I'll tell you the bigger picture. So, there's gonna be two events. One, Bagong Pilipinas Kick-Off Rally in Quirino Grandstand, Manila, January 28, 2024. Gates open at 2 p.m. Alright, base dito. Oh, kung fake news yan, sisihin nyo si ano, si Ronald kasi siyang nagpo-forward ng iba sa akin. Isa pa yan. Now, the second one, of course, yung mga ka-DDS natin dyan. Alright, ito naman, Light Prayer Rally. Oh, ito naman, Candlelight Prayer Rally. Oh, ito. Candlelight Prayer Rally. Ito. Candlelight Prayer Rally. Oh, di ba? Yan, okay. Ito naman, to be led by former President Rodrigo, Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Oh, yan. Ito naman, January 28, 2024. Andito po, I think Rizal Park ba ito sa Davao? O yung mga dabayani natin na followers. Correct ba to? Sa Rizal Park, Davao City, correct. Sa Rizal Park daw. Sa may Rizal Park, o nga pala may Rizal Park din sa Davao, no? Okay. So, yon. Okay, masaya to. Interesting to. So, assuming tama itong sinend sa akin ni Sir Ronald, tingnan natin. Actually, guys, ito. Ito, guys, interesting na ipapa-drone shot natin yan. Diba? Tingnan natin. Siguro magpa-flexan ng mga drones. Padamihan ng followers. Now, on the surface, it looks like each big family and camp, you know, having their own rally and flexing their muscle and showing their supporters. But apparently, another way that this is being framed is pro-chacha and anti-chacha. So yung bagong Pilipinas, officially, ang sinasabi ng ating minamahal na gobyerno at yung mga minamahal natin mga opisyales, right, of course, ang sinasabi nila, walang kinalaman ito at all sa charter change. Alright? So, ito po yung sinabi ng isang undersecretary natin sa Presidential Communications Office. Sabi niya, definitely not. This is an activity by the Executive Department for the Covenant of Bagong Pilipinas. Aba? Next level to, Covenant to. O yan, yes to charter change. By the way, speaking of charter change, nag-post ako dito sa Twitter kanina ng survey. Tinatanong ko dito, ano yung, ano yung bag nyo? Ano yung take nyo dito sa charter change? So, apat yung options natin dito. Apat yung options. Yung isang option ay it's time, meaning it's time, parang UFC, it's time. Alright, okay. Yung second option, it's a scam. Right? And third option, not yet. And fourth option, unsure. So please guys, bumoto kayo over the past, ilang minutes na ba? 1 hour. Over the past 1 hour, more than 300 people are voted. Ito kasi medyo late na siguro, kaya usually mas marami pang bumoboto. So please vote here para lang may idea tayo. Of course, it's not gonna be a scientific survey, but I'm sure it's better than Google Trends. Okay, it's gonna be better than some fake surveys out there. So paki-check yan. So far, nag-lead ang it's a scam. 69%. 17% sabi na not yet. So that's almost what? 90%, right? Lampasan Uh, lampas sa 90%, 96%. Lampas sa, yeah, 90, almost 90%, right? Ay nagsasabi na 86%. So almost 90%, so 86%. Oh, sorry, antok na. Ay nagsasabi na either scam ito or wag mo na. Wag masyadong advance mag-isip. Alright? 7% hindi sure, only 7% said it's time. So, obviously, hindi ito random sampling based ito dun sa certain demographic na active sa Twitter at saka certain demographic na nag-follow sa atin. So, hindi ako nagpapanggap na scientific ito katulad ng ibang mga ka-Google Trends natin or ibang papanggap na may legit na survey agency. Alright? Okay. But nawala ito. Walang yan. Ay, sorry. Nawala ba ako? Bakit nag-off to on its own? Talagang tong to. Okay, anyway. Nagsasalita pa ako, nag-off na lang on its own tong to. Anyway, so, so, officially ang sinasabi ng gobyerno na walang kinalaman nito sa charter change. Now, yung kabila naman, parang sinasabi nila na ito talagang it's really about people's initiative, right? It's really about, showing force, right? It's about bringing people and showing na, 'di ba? Na ito na talaga, dun kami sa bagong Pilipinas ni BBM, etc. So it's really a flexing and kind of a preview of the administration's electoral muscle ahead of midterm elections, right? Yung sa kabila naman prayer rally and also medyo spiritual ang dating at it looks like it's also being positioned as some sort of anti-chacha and yes, to say it, anti-BBM, right? Anti-administration kind of rally, right? So again, just to be clear, sinabi ng PCO na charter change is within the territory of the Congress. It is not part of the responsibility of the executive, meaning the Malacanang. The focus tomorrow will be specifically for Bagong Pilipinas, which is what? To communicate the government's commitments to level up services. Okay, whatever. This is part of the, so we are talking about empowering of the Filipino at its very core. Parang ano to parang puso ito mga ganyan. Okay, anyway, yung kabila naman, ito yung prayer rally naman sa Davao is very much being built. Ay, sorry guys, nandito pala kayo. Sorry. Yung prayer rally, sorry guys. Yung prayer rally naman sa Davao, it's being billed naman as anti-Chacha. Alright, particularly anti People's Initiative. Sorry guys, sorry, antok na ako kaya medyo nakalimutan ko, binabawa ko pala yan. So, over 50,000 people from around the country daw. Okay, so tingnan natin mga drones bukas. Alright, exciting ito. Alright, are expected na dadalaw dito sa event na ito from across the country. So, hindi lang pala Davao. So, siguro we're looking at really supporters of the DDS, President Duterte, etc. So, it's also show of force by them. And yeah, it's one nation, one opposition. What? What? Wait. Digong is gonna lead a rally in Davao and then ang pangalan ng rally na yan ay One Nation, One Opposition? Ano to? Opposition unity ba yan? What's going on here? Sabi nila, ito yung multi-sectoral effort in opposition dun sa yung tinitignan nila para sa kanila yung kababalakan na nangyari ngayon. Alright? So, in a privileged speech on Tuesday, Davao 3rd District Councilor Conrado Baluran called on the whole country to participate dito sa peace rally that will be led by Davao leaders, members of the academe at mga concerned na citizens. Guys, bakit kayo nanood sa akin? Saan ba kayo ngayon? Dapat lahat tayo pumunta dito. 'Di ba? One nation, one opposition. 'Di ba? Kasi tiwalang-tiwala tayo kay tatay. 'Di ba? Tiwalang-tiwala tayo sa mga to. Kasi ito ay mga paragons of good governance. Kasi nung time na nasa pader sila, walang problema, walang bahit na duda, wala ba, perfect yung management lahat. Kamusta yung pandemic management? Kamusta yung... Okay, ito. So ayon sa kanila, guys, let's be fair. Let's be fair, okay? Together with the calling for every... Together with the calling for every... Or we are calling. Together, okay, whatever. Let's just... ito sa mga organizers. Sabi niya, together with the calling Sa may eyeglasses ko. Yan. Tandaan na tayo. Together with the call for every Filipino to participate in this greater cause for a nationwide campaign. Davao City will remain resilient and will not just stand aside as an observer, but shall take part continuously, striving to unite one nation, one strong opposition. Yan, okay talaga yung parang biglang naalala ko yung mga silent speech na mga, ano, di ba? Yung mga ganyan, di ba? Mga ganern. Okay, mga ganern, mga ganern. Okay, okay. Tapusin natin nyo guys. Interesting ito. We have to act in one goal. Dapat respetuhin po sa Bisaya pala to. Puta nila. Again, sorry, I don't know. I'm just reading, guys. Pakita ko yung screenshot sa inyo. Because of their intention to remain in power. Galit pala sila, guys. Galit sila. Galit sila sa mga gustong mag-extend ng sarili na sa puder. Si tatay, tumaktak mo. Ano ulit? Okay, alright. Guys. So ito ayan, the Bohemians are not for sale. Ito yung sinabi niya. Okay, so galit na galit sila dito talaga sa corruption, dito sa mga kababa. But honestly, I mean, putting aside yung mga ano natin wow, one nation, one opposition. And then si Digong ang mag-oversee ito, tapos na sa Davao to. Wow, that's interesting. Which raises some very important mm, questions, right? I mean, obviously you already know what are some very questions I'm gonna raise, but I mean the other thing is interestingly there was also this meron din isang prayer rally sa Bulacan pala ng over the weekend at ito daw ang sinabi ni yung kapatid ng ating minamahal na Pangulo. Alright? Daw, okay. Baka magalit ka naman May sinulat lang tayo dun sa Nication. Ang lakas ng sagot ni Derek. Yap. Oh, okay, anyway. Ito kaya na magbasa. Parang ang dating dito, ipopost ko na lang dito is parang in-imply dito na well, not necessarily it's the president but it's people dun sa paligid ng presidente no na pagdasal natin na the president will be surrounded by the right people. So essentially ito yung sinasabi ayon dito sa quote na nakikita natin. So i-post ko dito. But of course, I mean, the good senator, if this is incorrect, please point it out. More than happy to post what's exactly accurate and all. But all I'm saying here is so is this when we're gonna see officially Duterte or at least one Duterte really presenting himself as opposition? So ito ba yung official na? Ito na ba yung mga official? So, tatlong bagay eh. Unang-una, tingnan natin ilan talaga magpakita dito. Madali magsabi na 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. Pero let's really look at numbers. Let's look at the drones. And of course, let's look at whether yung mga tao na pumupunta dyan ay taos puso talaga na pumunta dyan. Wala akong sinasabi. Wala akong sinasabi. Katulad ni Ronald Llamas, wala akong sinasabi. Ang sinasabi ko lang, excited lang ako, di ba? Na makita natin talaga yung mga taos pusong pupunta dyan na talagang go tayo para sa bayan, para sa magandang pamamalakad sa ating bayan ng konyang-konya, para sa wala na, matutroll na naman tayo. Ito yan okay. Sabi nung isa, 3,000 lang. Guys, wala akong sinasabi dyan. Ang sinasabi ko lang ay support, taos puso, yung mga talagang galit, na galit sa corruption, yung mga galit na galit sa mga gustong mananatili sa poder. Yan, gusto ko yan. Talagang mahal na mahal natin yung mga ganitong bagay. Which which raises a different question, which is kamusta yung opposition, yung totoong opposition? Kasi alam natin itong opposition na ito ay dating unit team, ex-unit team ito. At alam naman natin, madali Ayan na naman tayo. Ayoko na magsalita. Wala akong sinasabi. Wala akong sinasabi. Guys, wala akong sinasabi. Ang sinasabi ko lang, yes to sports, no to drugs. Naalala ko. Mukhang yung galit niyo. Kinokontrol ko ng sarili ko. Alam mo yung mga, yung mga beauty queen contest, yung mga beauty pageant, ako marami na magalit sa akin, di ba? Yung mga tipong tatanungin ka ng question, alright, candidate number from Quezon City. Ganun. So, wait lang guys Tubig to by the way, just to be clear. Oh, ito. Mineral water from Japan, okay? Legit to. Okay, okay, ito. Alam mo yung mga ganun, like, candidate number ano, that's my question. Blah, 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 blah. Tapos, ang sagot. Oh, ganun. Ang sagot. Thank you very much for that question. Ganun yung person guys. Thank you very much. Tapos eye contact talaga sa question. Tapos lulunok siya. Yung parang si ano, yung mahilig maglunok pag sumasagot. Thank you very much for a question. I ay, tapos isa pa, ay, tapos lahat ng tao, ay, ganun na yung mga tao, nanonood na sila, ito na talaga, ito na yung darating na yung sagot, ito na, panalo na to, pang ano na to, let's go. Thank you very much, and then mag-walk out. So, yan, for me, there's that version, pwede, tapos meron second version, ay, tapos freedom, peace, justice, ano, tapos yung mga tipo, yes to sports, no to drugs. Thank you. And then, yun, ayan na naman, mapapahamak talaga ako. Alam mo dati, inimbita ako sa mga magja-judge sa mga ganyan. Okay, you know what? Change topic. Okay. I'll be in trouble. I'll be in trouble. Alam mo guys, that's the actually, I'll be honest, kaya ko maging stand-up comedian kasi ang dami kong mga jokes from countries all around the world. Pero delikado eh. Sobrang delikado. Kanina lang, today lang, kasi kasama ko mga galing sa ibang-ibang bansa. Ang dami kong sinabi na napahamak na naman ako. But anyways, Niamet? Okay, okay, okay. Thank you very much. Alright, okay. Yes to sports, no to drugs. Thank you very much. Ayan, yung sagot na yan, pwede yan sa lahat ng contest. Alright? Go yan. Okay, okay. So, next time, pag nag-comment kayo sa akin, oh, thank you very much for your question. Ay, okay, okay, kinokontrol ko na kasi baka maingay ako dito sa kapitbahay. Okay, actually, isang dahilan na pagod ako sa gabi kasi ako yung pinakamadaldal parati sa mga meetings and ayaw kasi ma-bored, guys. Madali ako ma-bored. I mean, like, honestly, I prefer just to read books and like, whatever, right? Write and analyze and all. So, pag kasama ako na parating, ay nako, makulit talaga ako mag-isip. Anyway, yes to sports, no to drugs. Okay, guys, don't forget that. Thank you. All right, okay. Going back to this. So, ang question dito is, saan yung totoong opposition? Yun yung parati kong sinasabi. Kasi parang nangyari dito is, the battlefield has been parang abandoned. Akalain mo, yung mga, yung mga isang kampo na yan, sila na daw ang opposition ngayon, one nation opposition. Tapos, ang motto, good governance ang dating. Wait lang, parang pang ano yan. Akala ko sa mga dilawan yan. Akala ko kayo yan. Diba? Yun nga yung sinasabi ko. Kaya nga parati, ayan, magagalit na sa akin. Ang dami naman magagalit sa akin. Di, kaya nga sinasabi ko, dapat yung mga leaders ng opposition, huwag kayong mag-totally withdraw sa field. Or mag-organize naman kayo. Pakita naman kayo. So parang ngayon, ang drama, isang Marcos dito, isang Marcos dyan, isang drama, isang dynasty dito, yung isang naman ng dating presidente. Like, nasaan na yung totoong opposition? Nasaan na yung progressive opposition? So yun yung point ko ngayon. Alright? Thank you very much. Alright. Di ba? Yun yung problema ko ngayon, di ba? Kasi, okay nang bahala sa mga, ay nako. Dami kong gustong sabihin, pero, wait lang. Magpa-consult muna ako sa mga abogado, okay? Dadalhin ko muna legal team natin. Kasi alam ko yung mga comedians, ang laki ng legal team nila eh, di ba? Oh, let's gradin muna natin guys. So for now, ang sagot ko lang, thank you very much for that question. Alright. And sabi nung isa, can you repeat that question please? I mean, first, thank you very much and then, can you repeat it? Anyway, so eto guys, for me, this counter rallies on the Chacha question is showing what I've been warning about. And to circle back to where we started kanina, guys, ito yung CNN Philippines. Sa interview ng CNN Philippines ko, di ba? Yung, well, it looks like that's gonna be the last kasi nagsasara ng CNN Philippines doon sa discussion natin. Mm, sabi ko nga, there's a serious threat na ang opposition ay ma-box out dito. Alright, ma-box out dito. At dito natin nakikita in very visual, in very visceral, in very significant way na parang ito talagang kita mo Pare, ang gagawin natin. So for me, this is a warning sign to the real opposition na you guys are getting boxed out, that you guys are wala, I mean, nasaan yung totoong opposition sa issue na yan? 'Di ba? Saan na kayo? Kasi alam naman natin, marami sa atin ay nagdadalawang isip dito sa chacha na ito I really look forward to some legit, real surveys on whether gaano karami yung mga Pilipino na talagang gustong-gusto nila na magkakaroon ng charter change. I think lahat naman tayo, gusto natin ng tunay na pagbabago na maganda. Hindi yung pagbabago na kasyungahan or bara-bara, no? But is charter change via people's initiative under the current circumstances really the answer to many fundamental problems we have? Kaya nga sabi ko you cannot fix a problem if the problem is potentially the fixer, right? Yun, yun yung parating challenge natin sa Pilipinas. Kaya no na no ako sa charter change yung panahon ni nila tatay kasi hello, lalong-lalo na federalismo. Hello, sa ilalim ng federalismo, bibigyan mo pa ng mas maraming power, puwersa, yung mga trapo, warlords, yung mga dynasties dyan sa kung saan-saan lugar sa Pilipinas, di ba? Lahat naman maganda sa papel but you have to analyze. Mag-isip-isip ka naman. No? Ayan, makikinig na naman kayo dun sa mga vloggers yan na naman. Yan ang problema ko Paano naman tayo umangat sa buhay kung nakikinig lang tayo dun sa mga kung ano-ano dyan, di ba? Yan ang problema natin. Alam mo, parati akong binabash ng iba dyan na, mayabang ka, nagaganyan. No, you know what? May ayabangan ka lang sa akin kung alam mo naman na walang sense yung sinasabi mo. Habang siguro naman, pinag-aralan ko ng konting sinasabi ko. Hindi ko naman sinasabi na tama ako parate. Pero you know what? Kasi ganito guys Ganito kasi guys, you have to call out nonsense talaga. And sometimes you need be a little bit mean or something like that. So, yung isang araw, yung isa diyan na kunyari pa expert sa West Philippine Sea, doon sa mga kunyari mga think tanks na ginawa lang kagabi. Alright? Yung mga think tank ng website pa lang alam mo na hindi totoo yan, di ba? Nag-expert dyan sa West Philippines, din dud pa akong mga call out niyo yung mga ganyan. Ano bang na-publish mo about South China Sea, West Philippines Sea? Hello? Gina-Google Scholar ko, walang lumalabas. Itlog pala, zero. I mean like, are you kidding me? Kahit yung mga legit na media international, wala silang publication. I mean, I have nothing against if wala kang scholarly publication, but at least wag kang mag-feeling na expert ka. Or, siguro magaling kang journalist, then saan yung mga legit na? So, please don't take me wrong when I say these things. Kasi, you have to separate, scam from legit, right? Yun lang ang sinasabi ko. And then, dun sa mga legit, pwede magkakaroon ng debate. So, even like, kunyari ako, may mga issues na may disagreement ako kay Lelo Claudio. Right? Paras kami academics, paras kami nagtuturo sa mga public universities. Well, UP lang naman ako. Siya, Berkeley. But you get what I'm saying? So, that's fair. It's okay to have disagreements and all. Pero yung iba dyan, talagang kunyari expert na bigla. At biglang kunyari may think tank na president na tapos kung ano pinagsasabi nila. Tapos, okay, fine. Gusto mo magpanggap na expert kayo, go ahead. Pero babastusin niyo ako and you think I'm just gonna, just let it. No, I'm gonna call you out. Especially if nothing to show of what you're saying. Alright? Yun lang naman. Kasi yung mga nagdi-disagree sa akin na magaling talaga, never sila bastos. They will write a proper article in a legit place or in a scholarly fashion, and I'm more than happy. I'll tell you one thing, guys. When you write scholarly works, you're forced to be humbled. Alam mo bakit? Kasi kung nag-submit ka ng journal article, it goes through 3 reviewers and multiple rounds of editorial supervision. Hindi lang fact-checking, hindi lang yung grammar mo, prose mo, hindi lang economy of language, but also yung analysis mo, yung three top experts will the higher the level of the journal article, the more harsh minsan yung mga reviews. If you write a book, even more difficult. And I had to go through a lot. Marami akong sinulat mga journal articles or mga libro. Sometimes I got very mean reviewers, sometimes good reviewers. So hindi po madali mag-publish ng legit stuff kasi you have to go through peer review by the top experts and multiple rounds of revision. And I'll tell you what, in one of my columns for arguably the top newspaper on earth, oh, you can guess which newspaper it is I went through five drafts. Five drafts. Five drafts. I'll tell you, literally, naiyak ako dun sa third draft. Kasi parang, ang tingin ko, ang ganda-ganda ng sinulat ko. Perfect lahat. Biglang, gusto ng editor ng Asia, ayaw ng editor sa New York. Ay, so, medyo na-booking ko yata nung publication. Yung isang beses, okay yung editor sa New York, okay yung editor sa Asia, biglang, ayaw nung isang editor kasi gusto niya isabay. Eventually, lumabas yung article ko, and guess what? I shared that page with Senator Bernie Sanders. It's like there's like an opinion page, Bernie Sanders, Richard Hidarian, and I'm amazingly proud of that. But it was so difficult. It was so difficult kasi mapabastos ka eh. Yung honestly, second draft pa lang parang para sa akin bastusan na ito, di ba? Because I'll be honest, there are many times, thank God, first draft pa lang almost good na ako, di ba? Uh, and I've written for Foreign Affairs, I've written for The Guardian. You can, hindi ako nagyabang. I'm just telling you guys, ang hirap talaga to get published. Lalo kung hindi ka galing sa, hindi ka professor sa, I don't know, some Ivy League school or whatever. Ang hirap talaga ma-publish ka dun sa mga top journal articles or sa mga top publications ng newspaper, etc. Ang hirap talaga. So, pag binabastos-bastos ka lang ng mga kung sino-sino dyan, na obviously fake, yung iba nga makapili pa, alang ya, talaga i-call out mo dapat yan. Kaya honestly, I genuinely do not believe na dapat parati mabait ka lang. Nasa Biblia po yan. There's a time for war and then there's a time for peace. Right? Klarong-klaro yan. There are times you have to take the fight to the enemy. And there are times you have to be generous. You have to turn the cheek. I completely agree. But there are times you have to be tough and strong. So, anong relasyon nito dan sa sinasabi ko kanina? Para sa akin, yun yung pinakamalaking weakness ng totoong opposition natin throughout the Duterte years and potentially above. Because ang dami dyan who are saying, YouTube, I don't do that. TikTok, I don't do that. Oh, ako, hindi ko debate yan. I'm too good for you. Snooty sila eh. Tingin nila, bardagulan, they're too good for that. Well, guess what? Kinain kayo ng buhay nila, Dikong. Ngayon lang naman nangyari. Tapos kay BBN naman, ang galing nila bomber jacket, BTS hair, ganyan, TikTok. O, titalo rin kayo dyan. Kahit ano yung kamehameha niyan, hindi matalo yan. Di ba? So, yun yung naging problema. If you're gonna get into the realm of politics, and let me be absolutely clear about this, because some of the staff, I'm not gonna name who, of some of these opposition leaders na question, when you talk to them, they make you feel as if sila lang lumalaban. But let me be absolutely clear, all right? Sa isang banda, it's the opposition leaders who are in the front, but guess who is also on the front? It's people like Christian Esquerra. It's people like yours truly. It's like journalists. It's like people who are taking the punches live, literally live here and there. And in my case, I fought back. I called out. But at the same time, I was always ready to apologize if I did something wrong or I went. But at the same time, I was always willing to pay attention, to respond. Kung totoong guro ka talaga, if you're a true educator and you believe in the cause, right? You have to have you have to channel that almost prophetic kind of um vibes, di ba? Yung idea na you have to really embody your truth and stand for it. Kasi sobrang dali, guys. Sobrang dali, guys. To to just say, I'm too good for them. I'm not patient for. Doon tayo natalo eh. Doon tayo natalo. At what was so frustrating for me? What was so frustrating for me is instead of supporting people who are actually in the front and fighting this Let's call it what it is. Information warfare. All right? You know why I'm talking like this? Kasi, kausap ko kanina, galing sa ibang bansa, Alemania, Hapon, I don't know, well, Amerika sabog yung politika nila. I mean, yung mga ibang bansa na medyo matino-tino kahit pa paano yung politika nila. Tapos kino-compare ko sa Pilipinas. Doon ko lang na-realize, expert din sila, expert din dapat siguro ako, kaya kami kasama ganyan. Pero sila, they don't have to do what I'm doing. Pero ako, sa tingin ko kailangan ko, kasi tinatanong nila ako eh, ay nagvo-vlog ka, parang isip na, may time ka ba mag-vlog? Ba't ka nagvo-vlog? Eh, di ba, ano ka, di ba? So, parang nagtaka sila, di ba? Sige, anong ginagawa mo? Sabi ko, no, we cannot, we cannot abandon the field to the enemy. And then I explained to them yung sistema sa Pilipinas, ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. So, biglang ano sila, okay, di ba? Sabi ko, well, it's not easy to write I don't know Journal of Democracy or the New York Times. But even harder than writing a book about Duterte, writing a book about Marcos, whatever. Even harder than that is every single day fighting for truth and sanity against all odds, against the grain of all the trolling and all of that. There must be something with the water. I think from Mount Fuji, it's like there's almost this kind of a sacred feeling, right? No, samurai, diba? No, I mean, but this is what exactly I was warning about. If after election, there's demobilization, there's no exercise of leadership, if more than a year removed from the election, way beyond the honeymoon of PBM, kung hindi pa rin kayo organized, wala kayong soul searching, tapos yung iba, hate pa nila ako for telling, I'll tell you also another thing, since we're in the, we're in the uh, honesty mode. Ang dami ko narinig ngayon na biglang they're asking the critical questions and all of that. But a lot of these people are asking the right questions about opposition right now. They were totally silent in the first 6 months after the elections. I was probably the only fool out there, right? Saying it's time to move forward, not move on, but move forward and learn. Yes, ako yung nagsasabi nasaan si ganito or nasaan si ganito. And they hated for me for that. And there were some people who said na, oh, Richard, you don't know, blah, blah. Like, you're not the one fighting on the front. It's yung boss niyo yung lumalaban sa front. Yes, but not you. Kami, kami ang inaatake on the front. Kami ang dine-death threat. Kami ang binabastos. Right? You know how painful it is when you work so hard, you write thousands of articles, you get published in the best places on earth, you go all around the world and get respect, right, from the highest kind of people. You have people like Henry Kissinger trying to call and have a conversation with me, Asia. You interview like prime ministers and all of that, right? And then bastusin ka lang na ibang kababayan mo dahil lang na-hurt mo yung feelings niya, dahil mga kasyungan lang you know what I'm saying? Ikaw pang sinisisi because you're trying to engage. And it's worse pa nga yung iba na gusto sa makapili, drama. You get what I'm saying? But for me, it is doing the right thing. And I'll tell you what, this is the least I could do to honor the memory of Rizal. Because kaya nga, I get emotional every time we talk about Rizal. I get extremely emotional when we talk about Kumburza or these people. Because shucks, compared sa kanila, all of these threats and the pain and the insults and everything, it's nothing compared sa kanila. It's nothing compared sa kanila, right? So this is the least I can do to honor the legacy of Jose Rizal and Gomburza and all those people, our founding mothers and founding si Tandang Sora. I can go on and on and on about it, right? All the strong women, si Gabriela Silang. Oh, kaano pa natin yan, kababayan pa natin sa Ilocos yan. Uh, o si Borgos din, di ba? This list, but you hope that, more than a year removed, yung mga nagano sa watch na daw, walang watch. More than a year removed, you're gonna be boxed out. You're just gonna be boxed out. You're just gonna be boxed out, and who's gonna, yung medyo mag-Goggins, who's gonna carry the boat, right? Who's gonna, yun ang sinasabi ko mga kameta. Okay, nga sabi ko, love na love ko tong social media din. Kasi once in a while, at least nakikita napapano tayo. O kaysa lumabas ako enjoy ng Lost in Translation vibes dito. Actually, alam mo yung movie na Lost in Translation? Doon lang pala yung building nila doon. Okay, mamaya, mag-jog na lang ako or something. No, water po yan. Water. Water yan, okay? Diyos ko. Tignan yung ginagawa ko para sa inyo, para sa pagmamahal sa bayan. Nagtutubig na lang ako sa harap na nagdadrama-drama. But I'll tell you what, another thing that got me emotional today, I was talking to a Japanese friend about history and all. Kasi, uh, yung Oppenheimer came up, diba? So obviously, alam niyo naman, Oppenheimer is about nuclear bombs. Guess what? Kanina yung kasama ko taga Hiroshima pa. So, obviously, medyo intense yung conversation. You know where the conversation went at some point? We were talking about a lot of crazy tendencies, nationalism, whatever. And then sabi nitong hapon na friend ko, actually, kami 100 years ago na simulan namin itong grievance, you know, I don't know, I don't want to use the F word, but you know what I'm going to talk about, diba? Um, and then, and then we talked about Rizal. We talked about the Ilustrados. We talked about Katipuneros, who were here in Tokyo more than 100 years ago, right? And they were not only fighting for the Philippines against the American Empire. Actually, habang sinasabi ko yan, katabi ko Amerikano pa. Binabash-bash ko lang yung Amerikano. Harap-harapan. Kasi may friend ako sa India, may friend ako sa Japan. So, binabash ko. Habang ito yung mga Amerikano, blah, blah, blah. Itong mga ilustrado natin, itong mga katipunero natin, invoking the memory of Rizal, organized students from all around Asia, students from China, students from India, students from Korea. You don't believe me? Read the book Underground Asia. Kung tinamad kaya, at least read my review of the book Underground Asia sa Mekong Review. It's a brilliant book. So all these international students from India, from Korea, from all these colonized countries in the region came together, and then they raised, if I'm not mistaken, a picture ni Rizal, and they presented Dr. Rizal as a symbol of the Asian nationalist hero. That was the case more than 100 years ago dito sa Tokyo. Dito sa Tokyo, right? Dito sa Tokyo. So, I'm just reminding you of the greatness that our beautiful nation created and the tragic sacrifices they had to make for us. And then today, we have nothing but a bunch of snowflake people who cannot take hate online. They hate people who criticize them and point out their weaknesses. They're not willing to engage. They're not willing to learn. They're not willing to soul search. They're not willing to accept their shortcomings. Ayan, box out. Good luck. Is this how we're gonna honor the memory of Rizal and those people who fought for us? I don't know. I always say, of course, hindi madali ang politika sa Pilipinas. Hindi madali yung laban natin para sa demokrasya, sa mahunlat na bayan. I mean, of course, nalungkot din ako kasi sa isang banda, pag pinag-usapan namin si Rizal, din sa isang banda, sasabihin ng isang kaibigan ko, bakit ang konti ng investment sa Philippines? And then sabi nung isa, aminin ko konti lang investment namin dyan kasi yung presidente nyo, di ba, yung ganyan niya, ganyan-ganyan, oh, di ba? So, that's my point. So nakakalungkot kasi nakikita mo, pati sila na-frustrate para sa atin na how did a country like the Philippines. Remember, Japan chose Manila as the headquarters of the Asian Development Bank. The Asian Development Bank, the biggest development bank outside the West, practically outside World Bank and IMF probably, and the European Central Bank, whatever, came to Manila in the 60s, right? The decision, by the way, was made before Marcos Sr. All right, let's get the facts right. The construction was there, but so this was during Macapagal administration, by the way. And then they look at the Philippines, how we're behind practically like Vietnam, Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia. We're not even comparable to Taiwan and South Korea. So, and then you talk about Rizal and all of that. So, ang point ko is, how do we go from point A to point Z, right? Kung ganyan na lang nangyayari sa ating bansa, yung opposition natin, ganyan daw. Kalahin mo. biglang pag-good governance and all this ang grupo na yan, diba? O, sige. Yes to charter change. Yung isa sa atin na followers talaga natin, believe na believe sa People's Initiative. Sige, believe kayo sa PI, bahala kayo. Bahala kayo sa PI. Good luck na lang sa PI, Philippine Islands, diba? Yun lang mga kasensei. Right? I hope you understand, saan galing itong mga hindi ito hugot eh. Kasi ang hugot is just emotions eh. In my case, it's not just emotions. Di ba? Pinag-aaralan natin itong mga bagay na to. Pero yun nga eh, there's just so much one person can do. Unless, di ba? Unless we create a new culture, a new approach, 'di ba? We pass this down, 'di ba? So yun, so I'm just telling you guys like yeah, syempre nagpo-post ako ng mga pa-cute picture and all of that. But actually those are like in between very serious stuff like simulating a war scenario and all. Other people, well, let's just put it honest, yung mga ibang kaubayan natin nag-abroad, ang unang inisip na iba, ay, ang ganda dito, walang kwenta yung bansa natin. Or sasabihin nila, ay, walang dito, lilipat na ako. Or ay, sa aking bansa. Ako parang, pupunta ako abroad, tapos isipin ko, anong matutunan natin dito na pwede natin apply sa atin. Or actually, I even think it this way, how we were ahead of these countries at some point, now they're ahead of us, but how we can get ahead of them again, or we can catch up them again. Constructive. But I'll tell you what, weakness ko talaga every time maalala ko si Rizal. Kasi, I have friends in Malaysia whose name Rizal. I have friends in Indonesia. Ambassador pa to Rizal ang pangalan. Alright? Lahat sila, mga Rizal ang pangalan. Bakit sa tingin mo Rizal ang pangalan nila? Ito yung napakatalino, napakagaling ng mga tao. Because sa respeto nila kay Rizal. Right? So, yan po ang level natin. Alright? On that note, thank you very much. Yan, medyo napagod na ako. Yan. Pagod na rin mga ibang troll. So, let's see tomorrow. Let's see the PI, pro-PI, anti-PI, ano natin dyan. Okay, tignan natin bukas. Lagyan natin ng Rambo music. Ano yung Eye of the Tiger ba yan? Yung song ni Rambo. Lagyan natin yan, alright? Alright, lagyan natin yan. Okay? So, thank you very much sa lahat ng mga nakikinig sa atin. Thank you very much sa mga nakikinig sa atin sa Pilipinas. Thank you sa mga kameta natin. Thank you very much. God bless. Alam niyo na, once in a while, pag medyo emotional, nagtutubig tayo from Mount Fuji, lumalabas yung totoong kulay natin. Alright? And I have no shame of that. I am a serious person. I am a serious person. I'm a very serious person. Kaya nga kailangan ko ng humor eh. Kasi otherwise, di ba? Diba? You just have a sneak peek of what I'm thinking about, right? So, yeah, kailangan natin na medyo kulitan all. But, in light of what happened to our colleagues in CNN Philippines, I just found I cannot bring myself to make jokes or anything like that because there's some very, really serious and really troubling things happening in our media industries as far as truth industry is concerned. Journalists are not perfect, sure, but my goodness, kumpara mo naman sila dun sa mga trashy, buljakan, whatever nonsense out there pretending to be expose like binabuljak yung isang site pero yung mga kalokohan corruption ng kabilang site silent. Yung travel expenses ni ganito pero yung travel expenses na yung confidential pa pero yung confidential parang naging yan totoong yan, di ba? Alam niyo na. Alright, on that note, thank you very much mga kameta. Please drink good water. Yan, endorse. Next time, baka yung mga gusto magpa-endorse ng tubig. Alright, healthy lifestyle. Yung mga nagtatanong ng skincare, huwag kayong uminom, huwag kayong magsigarilyo, no smoking, no drinking, gano'n. Soup, alright, okay. No carbs at night, alright, okay. And tingnan natin makahabol tayo ng konting takbo. Okay, thank you very much. God bless. Thank you very much. Gracias. Obrigado. Alright, marami tayong mga followers from all around the world. Okay, obrigado. Gracias. Tomo arigato. Alright? And on that note, have a blessed day. Of course, alam niyo naman, Sunday, Sabbath day yan. So, you don't have to be, of certain religion. I just believe one day of every week you should dedicate it to the Almighty. And one way of honoring His blessings is doing soul searching and spending time with your family and loved ones. All right? God bless and talk to you soon. Gracias.